We can't make any compromises. You know, the bottom line is the players officially, according to the FIFA ruling, is that they're going to be released on the 5th of January. I have negotiated with a couple of clubs, and the players are going to be released on the 2nd. And fortunately, there are a couple of clubs, for example, like Bongani Khumalo, his club finishes playing on the 22nd, so he'll be arriving on that day or that evening. The other players, for example, Thelani Serera finished on the 23rd. You know, so obviously there's a lot of players that I haven't spoken to their managers because they still got to get into the squad and they've got to prove their fitness still. But most of the players, a lot of the players will be able to get here by the 2nd. You know, I haven't spoken to their managers and so on and so forth. A couple of them have really compromised for me or for South Africa in the sense that they will allow these players to get here by the 2nd. Although some of them are playing a game on the 24th or the 24th or 25th of their month before the end. So this is going to be difficult, but they are going to get here early. I'm not going to go solve his coach's problems. His coach has got a problem, that South Africa, and I'm not going to compromise. This is a tournament, and if he is selected, I would expect him to be here, and that's the bottom line. I mean, his coach hasn't got any, in actual fact, and without no disrespect, I think his coach is totally out of order, you know, but I'm not going to fight with him. I mean, at the end of the day, we've got our rights, and if the player is selected and I call him up, he will be here.
So you're not going there?
No, I haven't got the time now, unfortunately. You know, and as I say, I mean, we discussed it. In actual fact, Simon and I were just discussing it. I think it was yesterday. If we're going to get a moment to get into sea there and go to Holland and go to, you know, but it's very, very difficult because there's so much work to be done here, and I can't miss watching the Sundowns game tonight and the game tomorrow and the derby, and because there's a lot of players there that are just, you know, on the fringe at the moment, and I'm just hoping that they come through to really make up my mind, you know, and I've got to see these players. I really have to see them. Sometimes you need to take a gamble in certain situations. I'm obviously not going to call up all 6 or all 7 of the players. I mean, obviously they are players that, I'll give you an example, Serera. I don't need to tell you, you know yourself that Serera is a real quality player. He's a fantastic, he's a playmaker. He's done very, very well for himself. He's done well, he's honest, you know, and he's a type of player that I'm hoping that can really get himself into shape, you know. Having spoken to him just a couple of days ago, actually quite a few times I've spoken to him, he says he's fully back in training 100% with the team. He's tackling, he's running, he's sprinting, he's doing everything now. It's only a matter of time before he gets back into the team. His coach has told him that he will have to play 2 games in the reserve league first before he can start competing for a place. So that's good enough for me. And Serera is one of those players that I will have to make a tough decision on. You know, I'm hoping that he pulls through. I'm in constant contact with his club. The other player, of course, is Dalen Claassen, and then of course there's Benny McCarthy. There's a few other players, but it doesn't mean that all those players that I've mentioned are automatically going to be called up. You know, they've got to be playing at a certain level and have a certain fitness. But can't commit myself right now. But let's say for Serera turns out to be about 80% fit, and he can give me a good 70 or 75 minutes. I'm going to have to make a call on that one. If you had to tell you right now, I'd probably go with him if he was 75% or 80% fit. I believe they're going to be laying this artificial grass mixed with the actual grass itself, and I've seen that in Durban. It's very nice, a good idea. But whether the pitch will be okay, because I know there's concerts going on. I don't know if they've cancelled the concert or not. But I think the groundsman's going to be challenged. I mean, we need to that opening game. We need to have a good field, you know. And the field was bad for both teams. It was a shocking state. It was expected. Obviously, it rained, and there was a concert on there. But I'm sure that the groundsman and the management of the stadium will get it in top shape. Now, I don't think you're going to see shocks, okay? But one thing I know for sure is I'm not going to be able to keep all the people happy all the time. There's certain favourites out there. There's certain players that people might think how this player should be in the team. But then when you analyse and you look the way I've been looking and looking at the stats and, you know, comparing players with stats and situations, or how many tackles he's won, or how many forward passes he made, and how many times he gets into the box, or all those kind of things. It's, you know, I'm not selecting a team just sucking my thumb and saying, well, he's a nice guy and he plays for this team, I'm going to put him in the team. I have to select a team that is going to do well the way we want to play. And so sometimes not always the best players are going to be selected, not always the best teams are going to win things, and that's been proven over and over. I need to get a balanced team that can complement each other. I don't think there'll be too many surprises, but there might be 1 or 2 question marks, why this one or why not that one. I've been doing it on quite a regular basis. I've had Joma on numerous occasions. I've been sitting with Sheikhs on numerous occasions. Just last week we had Sheikh's office. We were talking to him about situations. I've spoken to a couple of players, ex-players, that are going to be assisting in monitoring the players. I'm going to put one particular person on this team, one particular person on that team, and I want to know exactly what Morocco had for breakfast on any given day. What they're doing in the morning, what they're doing in the afternoon, what set pieces they're taking. You know, try and get these guys into their training sessions if they can get there. Maybe give them a big press badge and say, I'm press, I'm going to watch a training session. But we'll get them in and they'll monitor, and we are using the expertise around us, which I'm happy to say that we've got a lot of. We're utilising everybody that can add value in the sense that give me as much information they can about teams. So I've got Clive Barker, I've got Joe Masona, I've got Shakes, and as I said, I have spoken to one or two others. They haven't confirmed yet, so I'd rather not mention their names, but one or two, I think, of the ex-players can also do a very, very good job, and I think it's very, very important that I utilise these people. If I can, for example, send Neil Tovey to Morocco to spend 3 days there just watching their training sessions, their free kicks, their corner kicks, I can't very well show up in Morocco and say, I want to watch their training session, so I think we want to utilise the people around us. As I've said this many, many times, it's not about, it's about us. This is our team. All of us here are involved, and I think we need to utilise some of these players in these departments, and I'm sure I'm going to get a lot of good input from it.